Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Counter-protest to student walkout in monument becomes lesson in free speech, vulgarity. By Debbie Kelly, March 14, 2018. Updated, March 14, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. A counter-protest to Wednesday's nationwide school walkout in support of gun reform became a lesson in free speech rights and vulgarity at Lewis Palmer High School in Monument. 3 trucks parked near the front of the school at 7:15 a.m. Wednesday, each with one word printed on the windows that collectively read "Foo #K Gun Control." The principal determined the first vehicle, which had the "Foo #K sign, was vulgar, said Lewis Palmer School District 38 spokeswoman Julie Stephen. It took until 7:40 a.m. for the principal to identify the owner of the vehicle, she said, and ask that the sign be changed. Related, thousands of Colorado Springs area students hold walkout to protest of gun violence. The district had sent a letter to families, saying the district and the schools respected the rights of students to exercise their First Amendment rights, in reference to the nationwide call for students to walk out of class on Wednesday to honor 17 victims killed in a shooting at a Florida high school last month and to support gun reform. The students who owned the trucks decided to stage a counter-protest, using their vehicles, according to Stephen. But we have to be safe and appropriate without vulgarity, she said. The student agreed to change his sign from "Foo #K to "No," so the message in the lineup read "No Gun Control." The school used it as a learning opportunity for students to be appropriate in voicing their opinions, Stephen said. We are in the business of teaching kids how to do things in life, such as having an opinion, and that was illustrated today. Students who participated in class walkouts Wednesday morning at D38's 2 high schools and middle school stayed within the school buildings and did not go outside, she said.
My name is Porter Kindle. I'm a 16-year-old sophomore. I go to Nampa High School.
My name is Ethan Schmeer. I'm a 15-year-old freshman and I also go to Nampa High. So we started the group Arm Our Teachers USA. It's an organization of students who don't believe in gun control. We believe that it will hurt the American people, and we would instead propose the counter plan of arming our teachers in order to keep our students safe.
So March 14th, we heard that there was going to be this nationwide walkout where people were going to leave class for 17 minutes at 10 a.m. The 17 minutes is symbolic of the 17 students who lost their lives on Valentine's Day this year in Parkland. And the protest started as a way to kind of remember these students, and it's sort of evolved beyond that, it seems. It's evolved to become more of a political statement, a statement of something needs to be done so that we can prevent this, so that we can save the lives of students in the future. We have seen that people endorsing this walkout are saying things such as we need to put into place common sense gun laws, we need to enhance the level of security that is already in place, and we need to start banning certain kinds of guns.
So here on our campus, what we're trying to do is organize as many students as possible to sort of counteract this other walkout that's happening, in order to have every voice heard, so that the public can see every side of this topic and they can really make an informed decision about where they stand. And we'd like to see it happen nationally, and we'd like to reach out to anybody who feels that that they want their voice to be heard, and tell them that they have a place with us here.
I think something that's really important is that the slogan is "Arm Our Teachers," but the policy is more have armed staff at schools who have gone through rigorous training and are in good mental health to be there to defend students if the need is necessary.
To our top story of the day, students nationwide walked out of class to remember the students killed in the Florida school shooting. Hillcrest High School in Ammon and Pocatello High School in Bannock County had students walk out in support, and some students held a counter-protest. KIDK Eyewitness News 3 reporter Michaela Leung has a recap of what students from both schools had to say.
Students at Hillcrest High School in Bonneville County and Pocatello High School in Bannock County participated in the national walkout.
A lot of these school shootings are done with assault rifles that people should not have to begin with.
No one here is trying to take away guns from responsible gun owners.
So shocked. We were scared. As we were posting this on our Snapchats and asking for people to come, we were getting so many replies that were like, this is stupid, there's no point in doing this, I will not walk out with you. And there was this movement, counter movement called Walk Up, and kids were saying they wouldn't come to the walkout because they wanted to do that instead. So I'm so happy and I'm so proud of my high school for showing that we care about gun safety.
There were also students counter-protesting.
They're protesting, we're protesting.
Honestly, I think that we should leave guns alone. We should leave law-abiding citizens alone. I should still have access to guns. Just because somebody committed a heinous act with a gun doesn't mean that I shouldn't have the right to have a gun.
If somebody else walks in and they come to shoot us, we want something to protect us. And if you don't have a gun that's equal to their gun power, they're going to win the fight. And so we just kind of feel like we all need to stand up for our guns and keep our Second Amendment.
At 10:17, students on both sides went back to continue the school day. For KIDK Eyewitness News 3, I'm Michaela.
Nampa students plan counter-protest to March 14 student walkout. By Patty Bowen P. Bowen at idahopress.com. March 9, 2018. Concerned that next week's school walkout to honor Parkland shooting victims is also a promotion of gun control, 2 Nampa High School students are organizing a counter-protest for the same day, March 14. Organizers Ethan Schmerer, a freshman, and Porter Kindle, a sophomore, say arming teachers and school staff is the best way to deal with school shootings. Obviously our hearts go out to the victims of the Parkland shooting, and we recognize the walkout is in honor of the victims, Schmerer said. However, it has also become about gun control. Schmerer and Kindle founded Arm Our Teachers USA, an organization of Nampa students who support the call to allow educators to carry guns in schools. Students nationwide are planning to walk out of schools for 17 minutes on March 14 to honor the 17 people who were killed in the Parkland, Florida, school shooting and urge Congress to pass legislation that will limit access to guns. In response, Arm Our Teachers members plan to protest the walkout at Nampa High School. We care about this issue because we want to defend our rights and let our voice be heard, Schmerer said. We don't want the more naturally conservative side to go unheard, especially from this younger generation. Arm Our Teachers is also organizing a march on the Idaho State Capitol on March 24. If you look at this logistically, there is no correlation between gun control and the safety of the people, Schmerer said. Schmerer pointed to the legislation the Florida House passed on Wednesday that would allow some teachers and staff to carry guns in schools as an example of what Arm Our Teachers would like to see happen nationally. Florida Governor Rick Scott on Friday signed the bill, which also puts some gun restrictions in place. On Wednesday night, the Nampa School District told parents in an email that students who participate in the March 14 walkout won't be marked absent, Assistant Superintendent Greg Russell said. Students are allowed to express their voice and walk out, but they have to return to class, Russell said. The time frame in which students must return to class differs for each high school and middle school in the district. Russell said he felt it was presumptuous to assume that all students are walking out because of their political beliefs. He said the majority of Nampa principals he had talked to said the walkouts at their schools were honoring of the victims of the Parkland shooting. They have the right to voice their opinions just like everyone else does, Russell said. Nampa High School Principal Diana Molino said safety is the school's biggest concern during the walkout while protecting students' First Amendment right. Just like how people would be mad if I infringed on their Second Amendment right, Molino said. Schmerer said he knows of students who plan to walk out of class just to get out of instruction. He is hoping his group's counter-protest will help encourage people to get the education they need from the topic. Really, teenagers can definitely make a powerful difference, he said, and we need to encourage those in our community to stand up for what they know is right. Some students counter-protested or stayed in class during school marches. While many of his classmates walked out of Mundelein High School at 10 a.m. today to participate in a nationwide, student-led 17-minute protest against gun violence, Christian Lohr remained inside. It's not that the 17-year-old senior disagrees with the sentiment, he just disagrees with the method. I believe this event should not take place during the school day and there are much better ways to address this issue, he wrote in an email about his decision. I appreciate what they're doing, but for me, I will show my support in other ways. Christian Lohr. Christian Lohr. Lohr is among suburban students who did not participate in the walkout against gun violence for reasons ranging from philosophical differences to a desire to avoid possible disciplinary action. In Barrington, some students carrying signs mounted a counter-protest. Junior Peter Schnaubelt, wearing a red "Make America Great Again" hat and holding a U.S. flag and a "More armed security equals safer schools" sign, said he represented students whose opinions on guns are not commonly heard. I guess our big thing is teachers that already have a concealed carry permit should be able to carry at school, Schnaubelt said while walking down Hoff Street. Mundelein High School senior Nathan DuPont said he stayed in class because he believes real change only happens at the ballot box. I am in no way denying there is a problem plaguing our country, however, I don't feel as though a walkout will accomplish much, DuPont said. If innocent Americans losing their life doesn't spark change, why would people leaving class for 17 minutes suddenly catch the attention of our government? People my age and older need to go out and vote, as we are the least represented age group in elections. The nationwide protest was organized following the shooting deaths of 17 students and staff at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, a month ago. None of Lohr's protesting classmates will face disciplinary action for their participation in the walkout, but that's not the case in other suburban school districts. Administrators from Batavia, Downers Grove, Wauconda, and Algonquin-based Community Unit District 300 notified students and parents about potential consequences if students left campus or disrupted the school day. Our top priority is to maintain a safe environment for all students, while respecting the constitutional rights of students to protest, Downers Grove High School District 99 Superintendent Hank Tila wrote in a letter to parents. However, leaving class unexcused is a violation of school rules and will result in disciplinary action. Tila warned that the minimum punishment could be an hour detention, but students with past infractions could face more severe discipline. About 1,100 of the district's 4,800-plus students ignored the threat, Tila reported. Students at District 300's high schools were told they could face swift discipline for leaving any of the school buildings to protest, according to Superintendent Fred Hyde. We will not support an activity that takes our students outside of the building, he wrote in an email to parents after plans for the national protest were formalized. While both Mundelein seniors said they have friends participating in the protest, they have been respectful of Lohr's and DuPont's choice not to join in. None of my friends are pressuring me to participate, so I have not received any flack for my decision, he said. Daily Herald staff writer Bob Sisingera contributed to this report.
ROLLE, COPWATCH 2 News. Less than a mile from the high school was a counter-protest, as we mentioned earlier, at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds. There were about 30 people who arrived, and some did, in fact, bring their firearms. There was also a teepee of guns displayed there. It was a peaceful protest, and one dad spoke with us and shared his thoughts from the Second Amendment support rally, and he told us we start at home by raising our kids, and we want to teach our kids to reach out to other children and support them and teach them that they can show someone they care and that someone is there as well. Now back here at Coeur d'Alene High School, administrators told us that students who did not choose to participate in the walkout remained in the classroom with a staff member. So there was a staff member in every class. There were students. Reporting live from Coeur d'Alene, Amanda ROLLE, KREM 2 News.
County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is if I got some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.